Hello and welcome to the channel. This is the first playthrough series of Dragon's Dogma 2, and yeah, I have a little bit of playtime in this game. Didn't really complete it, but yeah. Also, I am away from home, and the quality of my voiceover is determined by the microphone on my laptop. But once I'm home, that will improve, because I will have my microphone back. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. But starting the game, we are immediately thrown into the introductory cutscene, which is basically just a giant feast of nobles and a bunch of rich people and maybe some military commanders, and they're all celebrating the fact that I'm the true sovereign of the kingdom of Vernworth, which is pretty cool. And you'd think that being the true sovereign would probably be a good thing, but surprise, surprise, it's actually not. I got killed by a dragon, apparently, and it ate my heart, and then it basically just said, you know what, come back and try to kill me at some point. I will revive you for the time being, I guess. And yeah, in this universe or what is this, kingdom, game, uh, if you're a true sovereign, that basically means you just rule over everybody. But being true sovereign also gives you the superpower of schizophrenia. So yeah, you'll see that in a second.
Oh.
Thou who wouldst slay the dragon,
Uh-oh.
if thou seekest to behold this world in its true aspect, abandon thy reason, cast aside thine heart and thy life both.
Predictably, I'm poisoned from my cup or something. I don't
And I
know.
think
Maybe
we're good.
that bitch put some poison in my wine or
Yep.
who knows. But basically, now
Oh, wait,
I'm in
no, or become
prison.
a slave. That's cool too, you know. Not slavery. Or I'm just really fucking stupid and I forgot this
Now
game.
that we are stuck in a cell,
Hi,
in like a
can
dungeon
I help
thingy,
you?
there is this guy named Fiska
Oh, you
with
look
the
like
red
a
crystal on his staff,
Yeah.
who basically runs the slavery mine or the mine, whatever it is. Yep. And now we are going to make a creature even God would recoil in fucking horror at. The devil wouldn't even welcome this thing into hell, I promise you. He's perfect. Jesus Christ. I mean, I'm just looking back at this as I'm recording this voiceover, and my God, I don't think I will ever come to regret this decision of making him look how he does. Ever. I eventually decide on the wonderful name of Larry, and he is over 1,000 years old, basically. Close to. 999, we'll just call it that. After around, I'd
God, I
say,
look
maybe
so
20 minutes
fucking
of
dinky,
character
man.
creation, we start running around and
Ah,
completing our first quest,
Larry, we are going to
moving
do
boulders up
great
a hill.
things together, you and I.
Thankfully, this
Ah,
isn't super long-lived,
quite the gaming
because as we
experience, am I
finally put
right?
this boulder down, start talking to our
Oh,
curly-headed friend,
shit.
people start getting slimed out by something up top.
My God,
We
you let
decide
that guy
to
just get
run up there
fucking
as our first
tough. It's a
instinct
bad way to
because we
go.
have no survival tactics whatsoever aside from our two dukes that we put up.
Bazongas.
Capcom, what the fuck are those? Seriously, on a Gorgon? Fiska tries running for his life, and two of his guards get
You
slimed out in front
sexy
of me,
lad.
knocking over a
Oh,
box
he's
of
missing, like,
weapons.
the majority of his teeth, too.
With a Chad face, I decide to
God.
pick up this sword because I am the warrior vocation so far, and take on this Gorgon one-on-one.
Take a barrel, bitch.
Defeating the Gorgon via my sword and a few
What
barrel
the fuck? What
throws,
happened to that
someone is
guy?
left hanging in the air as she runs away. After fighting the Gorgon, and in the midst of everything going on, a mysterious Mogger appears behind us, telling us of our destiny as the Arisen,
I'm never gonna get used to this.
which is pretty cool. I mean, I'm not personally one to take advice from Voldemort, that's glorified, but, hey, I mean, you know, it's better than slavery, am I right? He basically tells us to get the fuck out of here, and that the whole world is awaiting us. So we take off. Fiska comes back and sees, doesn't like that, and starts chasing us, which is great. I love that. I love a good chase scene. But
One of the coolest chase
we end up jumping off a cliff, because what other rational decision do we have in that moment, aside from just turning around and beating the shit out of a short, fat twink and 4 of his friends? We hop on a griffin. Fiska continues to bitch and whine,
It's a fucking griffin, dude.
telling his men to try to shoot down the griffin. I don't know
It's a
how that would
griffin,
work
for
with
God's sake.
simple arrows and bows, but I mean, go for it, all you want. We end up flying off, you know. He's still mad. I don't know why he's saying shoot it down, take it down, take it down. We're basically gone. Ethereal Mogger and professional Aura Farmer tells us, learn aught you can of this world, for you have to protect it. Pretty neat. Cool way to start the game. Unfortunately, my stream was lagging, so I had to cut a bunch of this out, but
This game is beautiful,
the intro
by
scene
the
is
way.
pretty cool.
I don't know
Flying
if
over the
stream
landscape, you
show
know, checking out the
properly.
nearby towns and cities.
Yeah, they're gonna shoot
We
me
fly
down,
by
I bet
one
you.
ballista right here, and like I'd say immediately after, this ballista with this ginger bitch commanding it decides to turn towards us, not seeing
no,
that
they
this
are.
griffin has 2 people on its back,
Oh, you
right?
stupid
Pretty
ginger
neat.
bitch.
I mean, you're within spitting
course.
distance of this fucking thing, and you can't see the fact that there's 2 people on there.
Dude,
Anyways,
they don't see someone
they,
on the back of that thing?
they shoot the griffin down, right? Hits it straight through the chest. Tough way to go. Tough
I'm
way to
trying
go.
Oh my god.
We end up falling to the ground.
Bro, I escaped
I
from
don't know
slavery,
how our friend survived
rescued by a
this
griffin,
long with us.
and then I just immediately get shot down. That's so neat.
We soon wake up in the forest on the ground, of course, because the griffin, you know, landed in a bad spot. I consider skipping it because I've seen this before, and this scene is a little sad, but we wake up with less of our teeth than we ever had. And yes, I made my character with a super high voice. We end up standing up, kind of getting our bearings and looking around, just to find out our friend is getting eaten alive by the brine. The water in this game is cursed. Everybody is hydrophobic. I'll mention it on stream in a second, but yeah, that'll come into play quite a few times in this story. Which kind of sucks. Um, yeah, for me. And probably my party members or my other pawns. But yeah, immediately after this, losing our friend, some dude from the local militia or whatever comes over and questions us, being like, yo, the fuck are you doing here? Were you on the back of that griffin? And basically I just say yes, and I have to go with them. After being greeted by Justin, we work through the tutorial mission to get to the stronghold, where now we are learning about pawns. Pawns are your party members and the people that serve the Arisen. Um, I don't know any other better way to explain it other than that. But basically, they're kind of like your little servants, and you can have up to 3 in your party, which is pretty damn useful. After introducing herself, she shows us to this thing called the Rift Stone. And this is going to be pretty important because this is where we make our pawn and where we can choose our party members. And this is when we add our new favorite member to the squad or team. And what suiting character would be best? A furry. That's right. I don't want my ugly character to feel lonely, so I'm bringing him a furry. I don't know why I decided on a furry, but for diversity's sake, why not? We end up naming him the Fat Chud and making him an archer class, which is, you know, I don't know if it was the best decision off rip, but it definitely helps because we are a warrior vocation, so we need the range for the most part.
The fat chub.
And yes, his moniker is Fairy. I had a blast with this, and I was a little high on stream, so that was definitely adding to the laughter. But
Amazing. Oh my
yeah, the
God.
fact that they don't have any limits on the character names, I just love it. That freedom is something that will come to bite me in the ass.
Laughing.
Taking a moment to admire Chud's
Look at
stance,
his little. Look at
and
his fucking
my god,
stance.
he is just amazing. Skipping through some other dialogue about me no having memory because me bonk head or something, me sippy some wine, Bill Cosby'd. We eventually get the inn unlocked, which is going to help us early game with changing our vocation skills and other stuff like that. Super nice. You can also rest here, and it's kind of like a save point. We then have a little bit more information about rift stones, talking to this lady, who is Luxa? Luxa? I never actually take the time to learn people's name in this game.
Let's get out of here, Chud.
After failing to fix my lag on stream, we are about to leave when we are met with Phil and Enrique, two soldiers by the gate, looking for someone to go and help their new recruit friend that might be in a little bit of trouble. Begrudgingly, I listen to their conversation, and of course I have to do this quest, but we also get some more information about progression and setting quest priorities.
So
We soon push through the gate and head on our
thankfully,
merry
Chud
way.
is
Do you remember how I just
a
mentioned
moment.
those soldiers, Phil and Enrique, asking me to go save their friend? Yeah, I didn't. I went to Melv.
Actually,
I think this
am
was the
I
place that was
crazy?
literally
I
just
need to
burnt
look this
down a
up.
few days ago by a dragon, which is pretty neat.
Mel-
I love that. After wandering around Melv for 30 seconds, I start getting skits flashbacks, and soon enough, I, get a little bit eepy, end up falling to the ground, and some woman sees me. Weird. Wonder who she could be. And all of a sudden, I'm back in a dragon fight, where, oh my god, my stream looks like shit. Okay, I get it. I'm sorry. I know. But basically, we just get a flashback to a few days ago when this dragon kills me because I saved this woman. He ends up taking my heart and flying off, saying, "You have a new destiny. Come and fight me, pussy." This woman saves my ass, which is why she was staring at me in Melv. This is when I wake up and she's like, "Oh my god, I know you." I'm like, "I don't. Who the fuck are you?" She's like, I saved you." So, hence the flashback. Kind of sitting there just rezzing her up, I'm a tall god, dude. My legs are fucking long. Got noodle spaghetti legs. Outside, we meet Gregor, who, honestly, I didn't like from the beginning whenever I met him. Kind of a prick. But yeah. Instead of running over and going to the inn to change my vocation, maybe get some more skills, we meet Fiora, or Flora. I can't tell if that's an I or an L, but I don't care. Either way. She's talking about being an apothecary in training and needing some fruit roberin, which is a healing item
She's like 9 years
that you
old.
can
What the
craft
fuck
from,
being an
like,
apothecary in
fruit.
training?
Hence, fruit
Dude, she'd
in
give
the
you
name.
like rat poison instead of like
I know, right?
actual herbs
Surprising.
you need.
But,
Seems I've
I
killed
decide to
you.
actually do some
Sorry.
quests before going to the main capital so I can get some levels. And one of those quests is talking to Lennart in the inn. We reach level 4 and talk to Tristan the innkeeper, also finally get to some vocation work and get some new skills. Uh, and then finally we, after doing the Roborant quest, which is literally just wandering around and
Now we have a little
finding
bit
it,
more
it's
XP.
on a barrel
Might
somewhere,
even level up.
we end up just giving it back to her, completing the quest, and leveling up to level 5.
Alright.
Pretty nice, pretty nice. Due to the lack of functioning gray matter in my cranium, I forgot to do the recruit
M&A?
quest
What the fuck?
and
This
to
is-
save the
this
guys.
is,
So on the way back, we end up stumbling across Amine, who is my friend Sam's character. Sam introduced me to the game, so as tribute, I decided to take her along for the ride. We end up finding the harpies harassing the poor soul, and have a great time taking them down with some of my new skills as the warrior vocation.
We are good.
I like it,
I think we have the
but
quest
it
done.
is nowhere close to where we want to be
This,
soon enough.
and where's our
So,
friend?
yeah. I couldn't really find the dude
Die?
because I wasn't looking in the bushes, but eventually we just kind of stumble across him and finish the quest.
You saw all
He
of them!
says, "Did you guys
Yes!
kill them?" We're like, "Yeah, of course, that's why you're still here." He's like, "Cool,
Okay,
thanks."
cool.
We end up running back to base camp eventually, but first we stumble across some goblins, and I have a great time rediscovering the fact that you can throw
Come
things
here,
to their
no!
deaths. And a lot of combat in the early game for me, and a bunch of
Huzzah!
footage of this, was just me throwing small goblins around and losing my shit because I love the
Oh
physics.
my god, dude!
What I
This is so
don't love
fucking
the physics of
amazing! Oh my
is how
god!
the character AIs will
Yeah, there's
sometimes
loot
fall
hidden
into
around
the
the map,
water
like,
if they're too close to an
everywhere.
edge. Their little brain cells just
Oh,
don't understand that that is
Chud!
an edge and that,
No!
don't do that, you're probably gonna die.
This fucking
So
kid.
I had to run all the way back to base camp. After a second of trying, we end up respawning Chud at the Rift
Chud,
Stone.
are you back? There you are.
We end up going to the inn and getting some new skills for me and Chud with DCP, which is basically just the combat points that go towards your vocation when you level up. Helps you get new skills. We end up talking to the captain at Melv, back at Melv. We end up going back there. And we have to walk with him all the way up to his camp, the guard camp or whatever. And along the way, we get attacked by some harpies and I get put to sleep. After being woken up in a quick dialogue with that guard, we get to go and ransack the entire camp, going and stealing all of their rations and other goodies in the
Oh,
chests that I remember about,
alright, Riftstone.
and can just see out of
Nice.
the corner of my eye, apparently. We get another rift stone, and along the way to the capital, which we are headed to
Of
now,
course!
we end up
It's the fucking
having to
ogre.
fight
I knew
a
it. The
giant
troll, whatever this thing is.
Cyclops. That's
Cyclops.
awesome. Great. Half of its health bar is already gone though from the rock slide. So yeah, not the hardest boss fight, but I'm gonna let you guys enjoy.
The Cyclops. Pray, be on your guard.
So, we need to climb up here on his little bum bum, up his back, and then we can start getting good damage. Should be climbing up to his head though.
When better
Ooh!
quickly arisen, you must regain your footing.
Okay, let me do it again. Now he has a full bar of health and he's a little bit mad. Fuck, I can't do that.
It seems we have enraged our foe.
Yeah, he's real pissed off now.
By your leave.
And we can make him stumble. Forgot about that. Come on. I hit him. That's gotta hurt.
I understand.
Come on, dude.
It shall be done. I am here to aid you.
Okay, help, 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 help. Thank you. Okay, we killed him. Hell yeah. Woo!
You have my gratitude, sir. I had taken you for another falser, yet the value you showed in coming to our aid to
Look
one
at-
of the sentinels
look at
stationed
Chud
the
just
gate, you're
posed
free
up in
to
the
make your
back,
own
dude.
way to the capital now. Of
This is so
course,
funny.
If you'd rather continue to accompany us, you are still welcome to join us on the ox cart. Tis your decision. Well now, the road's blocked. A powerful current.
Damn it. 2 rugged bones. Neat. So what do we gotta do? Break this? Like, Sabingus. Oh god, get out of the way. M&A! Oh my god. Okay. Nice. What do you think now, buddy? Okay, we're on the way. We out. We going.
After that boss fight, which was a little bit stressful, I don't know why, I just wanted to get to the capital. So we hopped in the back of this ox cart, which is kind of like the fast travel for this game. You just pay a little fine, hop in the back, take a seat, and you can either doze off, but if you do, you have a higher chance of being attacked. If you don't, you just wait, you have a lower chance of being attacked, but it takes absolutely fucking forever. So I didn't want to do that. I ended up dozing off and we got attacked, but the stream was super laggy, so I just decided to cut that part out. Once we were inside the capital, we met with Captain Brant, who brought us to his quarters and talked with us, revealing that he realized I was the true Arisen. And shortly after this dialogue, we get a cutscene with Queen Disa proposing to put a false sovereign in and poison us. That stupid conniving bitch. After that cutscene, we level up to level 9, and we have another short interaction with a boy and a guard. The guard asks if we've seen the boy. After he runs into us, we say no, and that will come in handy later. In the meantime, we go to the Vocation Guild, and we upgrade some of our skills. We also want to change vocations at some point, but that's going to come in later. We get some skills for me and Chud, and look at our DCP. It is pretty low for the moment. So is our vocation level, but we go back to the tavern, which is our new meeting spot for Brant, and we learn of monster culling. And the 2 missions for that is going to Melv, and then we also have to go and rescue some guards with a cart, which is farther on. But outside of the tavern, we meet with Mildred, who offers us a place to stay. I immediately say yes, but first go and get myself a cutlass at the armorer and weaponsmith. I said that out of order, but please just ignore that. I spend some time here just seeing what I can get for me and Chud, because Chud is paramount to do damage. He is archer. That is going to be very useful, but we eventually go to meet with Mildred, see the place, and rest overnight. In the morning, we get the bright idea to go out, and I think that I am a parkour god. Unfortunately, my brain and a harpy disagree with me, so I do this.
And I'm...
That didn't happen.
No!
We soon run into a lizard man. I think their names are Saurians, but yeah, to say this one was a doozy was very minimum. I actually really struggled in this fight. I don't know why. I think it was the damage or the poison or the fact that I just wasn't used to the game yet. Eventually we get the guy down, and I think that's a big victory for myself. Until I turn this corner, all confidently, and see a troll.
Wow.
Fucking great, dude.
Fuck.
This is gonna be fun.
Alrighty, dude.
Immediately, I whiff an attack,
Shit.
and my confidence is at an all-time low.
Can I...
Panic starts to set in as I
Fine,
can't
dude.
grab onto this guy, and from here on, the fight just kinda...
Oh my god.
I don't know. It's interesting. Don't pay attention to what I was doing there, but yeah, I'll let the fight play.
Oh fuck. We might be cooked here. Help! Please don't aggro on me. Right, we just level 5. Sorry, hope you have a good one. Okay, you can aggro. Eh, oh shit, oh. Oh, beautiful. I see that. I see that. I see that. Okay, so what?
That was a fun fight for sure, but soon after, thanks to M&A, we discover another rift stone. deciding to climb up the hill behind me,
I think they
awaits
updated
the
the
surprise of
Griffin.
another griffin.
Oh, we're fucked.
The first
Bro.
one we were on got
Really?
shot down,
Okay.
but apparently this
That's
one
just
doesn't like
awesome.
us now.
Yeah,
I decide to
not
immediately
do
give it a friendly rim job by climbing around its butthole a
Climb
few
up the-
times, and
I gotta
then
get it-
deciding
I'm
to
on
go
its
and do
fucking
damage
butthole.
by climbing on its back.
So we might be cooked.
After a few measly slashes, I realize how much damage we're doing, and how little of a chance we stand. I'm stunned on the back of this griffin until I fall and take a decent amount of damage for some reason. Then after, I end up climbing on again, hoping that by the gods there's any chance of me surviving this. Nope. My little tiny brain decides to keep attacking and wasting stamina instead of holding on for dear life. I end up falling off, and instead of using the help button, which means a pawn would catch me, I just forget and I die. So,
Fuck. Hey,
yeah.
welcome to the stream.
After that embarrassing death, we decide to go to Trevo Mine and take on some goblins for a quest. Soon finding a two-hander
Two-hander.
and a fairy stone.
Fairy stone. That's... Wow, I pulled that off an enemy?
We fight through the last of the enemies in that room and find some jasper, which is really good for money. Soon after, we find some ranger's tights, and finally the second quest item, the grievous horns. The first was the two-hander. After getting the ranger's tights, I equipped them to Chud, so now he looks like a little fruitcake that shoot arrows.
Shit. Waystone?
I
Let's go.
exit the mine and get a fairy stone, which is very nice.
Ah, I need to get my cat.
A well-organized pack is my speciality. I'll see
Shabu
burdens are shared
is now
between us.
summoned
God.
and is our third
Fucking
party
dingbat.
member. Well,
Okay.
fourth.
This is
Third
awesome.
pawn. Soon after, we decide to go and fight some goblins at night because we are trapped out in the open. Not very fun. Some wolves decide to join in, but are quickly put down, and I feel kind of bad. We reach level 11, which is great. I'm very, very happy about that.
Level
And
11.
Chud is soon to follow in our footsteps.
Head and right.
After getting confused on my map and getting obliterated by this boulder, I head home in defeat, sleeping for the
Sucks
night
ass.
to restore my
Right.
dignity.
Holy moly. Cheers. Dude, come again.
The next morning, I head to the guild and turn in my greatsword and archerstaff
Deliver
for
that, yes.
the warrior and sorcerer class. I immediately switch my class to warrior, as this is the build I want to run this
Oh, okay,
game.
wait, no, I can do both. I thought it was
And it is
one only.
also
Fuck.
very, very good, as a tank and as someone
It's
that
unfortunate.
does damage.
Why are
Immediately
you so
switching
annoyed?
my class and questioning why this guy seems so annoyed all the time, I soon spend all of my DCP on the skills and abilities for this class. I also spend some time upgrading Chud, as he is in dire need of a damage and skill upgrade. Because, my god, later in this run, he is just able to dish out damage. I end up going to the armorer
I don't
and
care.
the weapons person to upgrade my weapons before stumbling into this cutscene.
The coin, I swear it.
Where is it then, eh? Bring the coin.
'Tis uncommon for a lad of his.
We should take this on. It's a good chunk of its health already. Alright. Climb up here. I don't know if I can... Can I? Like, use my weapon on this? Or does I... Oh, wow. Yeah, that does a good bit of damage. Shit. Oh, fuck! That worked! You can hold a foe while making... you can hold a foe while standing by making contact with them while pressing. Okay. Yeah. Holy shit, we knocked it out. Dude, that does so much damage. Right up the crack. Right up the crack.
In the process of this fight, not only did I destroy this Cyclops' butthole, but I also level up to level 12.
I kinda up my stamina.
I do have to say the damage output difference from when I first started to when I
Shape
got
and
this
eye. Ooh, that's a
vocation
rare drop.
class
Hey,
is
there we go.
very nice. We soon return towards the capital
There we
and
go.
get this
Nice.
Rift Stone, then turning around to finish the second part of this quest, which I mentioned earlier was defending this cart from
Oh,
some
fuck, that
Saurians,
hurt.
the lizard people.
How did this happen? We must defend the cargo. There were tenacious not
Our foe is not yet routed.
Okay. That kind of hurt, but I mean, we have plenty of defense, so we're doing.
After
You
that
stay
fight with the
here.
Saurians,
You're being a
and
dick.
soon
You
enough
have to hang
talking
out
to
with-
this knight to complete the quest,
Ugh.
we, right after, just automatically get distracted and go into a random hole in the ground with a bunch of skeletons to fight and loot. But none of it is actually worth it. We just find some berries and other stuff in chests, yeet a pot at the wall for no reason, and then hit level 13.
Sucks.
Right after this dungeon,
You're coming
I
with me.
throw a
You're going way
hobgoblin
off
off
the
of a
cliff.
cliff into some water,
Cool.
Where's?
and
Yeah.
right after I return to the capital to
You get
complete
this.
the quest, the ornate boss. I
Oh, there
soon
it is, there it
after
is. Fuck
have
yeah.
to wander around and find the kid again to give him said
I
box
swear
and
you'll be
end this
repaid
quest.
in
Ornate
full.
box.
I'm gonna call the video
Deliver.
here, but thank you so much for watching.
Yes.
I hope you enjoyed and have a good rest of your day, evening, night, wherever you are. And if you have any comments or recommendations, please drop them below and I will do my best to respond. Yeah, thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.